is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, guys, we're going to be going over and talking about the top 10 centers right now in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM. Now, before I dive into it, I gotta say, the center position is really good. I mean, really good. Guys like Alonzo Mourning, I mean, this card is absolutely elite. And nobody's really talking about him because who knows what that Shaquille O'Neal base is. But even as an inside big, interior big, this card is absolutely outstanding. And that's the hard part, right? If I really wanted to give you guys a list, I mean, all of these trophy cards are basically going to be on there. From Dikembe Mutombo to Alonzo Mourning. But what does that mean? Well, it basically means that I leave out every diamond card. So guys like DeAndre Jordan, he doesn't make the list. Guys like Joakim Noah, Bill Russell, they don't make the list either. And so for me, I don't know how I honestly feel about that. But we're ranking the top 10 right now, and all of these trophy cards are available. So I'm just gonna go with some guys that barely missed the list. Bargnani, he didn't make the list. He's too slow and can't really move at all. Some other guys that didn't quite make the list, Ben Wallace. He didn't quite make the list, and I know a lot of people love him. And so, yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of those types of guys that didn't make the list. Tyson Chandler, Pau Gasol, some other decent guys that didn't quite make the cut. So just so you guys know, it's the best of the best. I'm sorry, but it's how I had to do some things. Starting the list off at number 10, we got Paolo Banchero. Now, again, if you don't see like a guy that you might want to run at center, like a Zion, he was on the power forward list. So, I mean, guys like Paolo, guys like Zion, they can go either way. I maybe should have put Zion on the center list, Paolo on the power forward list. It doesn't matter. Paolo makes the list. 79 3-ball, 80 speed, 73 lateral quickness, decent enough rebounder, Hall of Fame pogo, gold brick wall rebound chaser. This card is very fire. I don't care what people say. A lot of people are going to be like, okay, Ty, he's cool, but is he really a top center in the game? I personally think so. I mean, this card is absolutely elite, and he's not super expensive. And so that's why I'm a big fan of Banchero. That's why even when you compare him to a guy like Ben Wallace, I think I'd give this slight advantage to Banchero right now in my team, just because stretch bigs are so important. Now, a card I can't quite put Paolo over is Diamond Bill Russell. Now, is Bill Russell worth the grind? No. But if you get him, he's got Hall of Fame anchor, pogo, and rebound chaser, all of those badges. And as far as interior bigs, which we're going to have a lot of them on this list, you can make the case that Bill Russell is right up there with all of them. He's got a decent enough midi at a 60 that you can knock it down. Pat Bev's release is not that bad. The big thing here is the Hall of Fame rebound chaser, pogo stick, and anchor. That's really what you're relying on for Bill Russell. Coming in at number 9. Am I going to grind for Bill Russell? No. But a large reasoning for that is the fact that I do need outside bigs. I'm pretty bad with interior centers in my team. At number 8 is Arvydas Sabonis. Now, I know this is going to make a lot of people mad, a lot of people upset. But this card is a literal turtle. Like, I look up the definition of turtle. I'm not going to. But if I look up the definition of turtle, you see Arvydas Sabonis, man. He's got a shell on him and everything. Here's the deal. 7'3", 7'6" wingspan. I know he's a big body. He's got a good 3-ball, but his release is not that great in my opinion. His defense is horrible because he's not going to be able to guard Blake Griffin. He's not going to be able to guard Chris Bosh. He's not going to be able to guard anybody. And that's the problem. I mean, he's a one-trick pony, and I could personally never use Sabonis in my team. A card that I slightly prefer to him is Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Now, why do I prefer Big Z to Sabonis? Well, it's simple. Neither one of these cards are doing much on the defensive end of the court. But I prefer Big Z's release. And a lot of people might be like, what? I just think his release is easier to green than Big Sabonis is. And that's my firm opinion. Now, do I like either of these guys? Am I going to be using either of these guys? No. If you are slow for me right now in my team, you simply put are not playing. I mean, speed is the most important stat someone can have. And so when you scroll down and see Big Z's got a 44 speed, nothing else really matters, man. That is so slow in my team. At number 6, we got a card that's a little bit quicker, but I still do not love, and that's Dikembe Mutombo. Now, why do I have him over the likes of a Big Z, over the likes of a Sabonis? Well, he's more playable. He's got a way better speed. The problem is, offensively, he's not great, right? He's got some finishing badges. Yes, his standing, driving, dunk are solid. but he's just not great. I get his defense is solid, and he is an upgraded Gobert, and I did love Gobert, but I don't love him. Now, what I do like is the fact that he does have Hall of Fame interceptor, Hall of Fame brick wall, rebound chaser. Like, he does a lot of those things for you. One of the best guys infamous on PlayStation right now, he runs Dikembe Mutombo. So obviously the card is not a garbage man. But for me right now, I just think there are other centers that can do a little bit more. Dikembe, he's not even really that fast. He can't shoot. I just think that combination is just not great right now in my team. And that's why I have Alonzo Mourning over him. And you guys are probably not going to like this, probably going to disagree with it. I don't know. I have not shot with Alonzo Mourning yet. And as I go through it, I'm going to take him into shoot around and shoot with him. But even if you look at this card as an inside center, I think you gotta like what you see. I mean, I know a lot of his badges are finishing, but Hall of Fame Masher cannot be overlooked. His defensive badges, I mean, the dude's got Hall of Fame Pick Dodger. Like, for Alonzo Mourning, that's kind of a crazy badge, but it's a solid badge. Pogo Stick, Post Lockdown, those are both very important badges as well. And so I think when you look at it, he can handle the ball. His speed with ball is decent. He kind of looks a lot like a guy we're going to see later on in this list. And as I take him into shoot around and shoot a shot, his shot's not that bad. If this is what his shot's like, it's not that bad. I mean, it's really not. It reminds me of like the Wilt Chamberlain base that we saw last year. His release is not bad at all. Alonzo Mourning, before you guys know it, might end up being one of the best bigs in the entire game. I'm throwing that out there for you guys right now. So don't be mad when it comes true that I am that high on Alonzo Mourning. I mean, he might be one of the most slept on cards in the entire game. That's how high I am on him. You guys can disagree if you want. That's what makes these videos kind of fun for me to do. But I think this card is going to be the real deal in my team. And that's my firm opinion on this Alonzo Mourning card. Next up, guys, on our list. So that was number 5. Next up, we do see Kevin McHale. Another card, I don't want to say similar to Alonzo Mourning, but he is, right? Alonzo Mourning's going to be a little bit faster. Alonzo Mourning's going to give you maybe a little bit more for you. But with that being said, I don't know if he's overall better, right? Why? Well, you look at the Hall of Fame interceptor, anchor, post lockdown, menace, challenger, workhorse. Like, he gives you a lot of those things that are decently important. Post playmaker is a pretty big badge in general as well. And so a lot of these, badges that you guys might be like, okay, what is the important badge? I like Kevin McHale's that little bit more. Now, his 83 3-ball, is that a big difference? It's really not that big of a difference. So that's something you guys need to keep in the back of your mind, is the difference between a 83 3-ball and a 79 3-ball or 76, whatever it is not that big of an issue. Now, for Kevin McHale, again, interior-wise, very good. The biggest thing for Kevin McHale is the fact that he's 7'11", okay? And that's something that a lot of people might not, think that much about, but he has a 7'11" wingspan. And that's pretty important as well. Do I think he's going to be better than Alonzo Mourning? I don't know. When you compare the cards side by side, it's kind of a tough thing to see, right? Let's look at him here. Alonzo Mourning a little faster, a little better laterally. Kevin McHale has a better 3-ball. As I'm looking more and more into these cards, I think they're very equal. Right now, I'm giving the slight edge to Kevin McHale, although I do think Alonzo Mourning is massively underrated. At number 3 right now, I'm plugging in Blake Griffin. Now, is this biased for Blake Griffin? Probably. Is he probably objectively better than Alonzo Mourning? I mean, let's be honest. I don't know. I'm just going to say I don't know, because honestly, I don't know. I really don't know who overall is better between these cards. But let's be honest. Blake is tough, man. And the one thing Blake has over guys like Alonzo Mourning, over guys like Kevin McHale, is his ability to handle the ball, right? A lot of these Kevin McHale's, Alonzo Mournings, they're going to be fine because they can shoot. They're going to have a decent 3-ball. Basically, you can shoot with anybody. Like, I saw Alonzo Mourning had that Shaquille O'Neal base, and I was like, oh, that's not great, but nobody's base is really that great this year. Everybody you can basically shoot with. And for Blake Griffin, as far as attacking the rim, that's where he's definitely got the advantage over Alonzo, over a guy like Kevin McHale. Now, Blake probably should be at number 5. McHale, Alonzo probably should be ahead of him, but it's just tough for me to put him any higher right now. Coming in at number 2 for me right now is the new Pink Diamond Chris Bosh. When I did a gameplay of Bosh, I had a hard time, right? I really did, because him compared to Blake Griffin, it's so close. It really is. Now, one thing Chris Bosh is going to have over everybody on this list, when you talk about Kevin McHale, when you talk about Alonzo Mourning, those types of guys, Chris Bosh's release and his shooting badges are going to be way better. And so that's something to kind of keep in the back of your mind, because I get it. Defensively, he's not going to be as good as Alonzo Mourning. And I agree 100% with that kind of logic, if that's the logic you want to specifically have. But at the same time, I mean, look, he's going to compete on defense. He's 6'11" at the center position, decent hot spots, has hot spots from both quarters. And so when you do the comparison and draw the line, how does he compare to a guy like Kevin McHale, a guy like, Alonzo Mourning? I don't think it's that big of a difference. I know Kevin McHale might be a little better here. Bosh is a little better offensively. Look at the total stats. I think it's closer than a lot of people give credit. Chris Bosh coming in at number 2. At number 1, we're plugging in Pink Diamond Jermaine O'Neal. Now, let's start with the release of Jermaine O'Neal, okay? His release, it's pretty gross, okay? But a lot of people's releases this early on is gross. Now, I will say Alonzo Mourning and Kevin McHale both have a better release than Jermaine O'Neal. I'm saying that to start it out, okay? So don't, say I didn't say that, because I'm saying that to start it off. They got better releases than him. Now, why do I like Jermaine O'Neal? Well, he's got box out beast, brick wall, chase down artist, rebound chaser, and pogo stick. What else do you want out of a center? You give him interceptor. I'd give him quick first step because he can handle the ball. That's so important right now. It can't be stressed enough. I wish his driving dunk was higher, but he can handle the ball. Shooting wise, he's got catch and shoot. Give him corner specialist. Heck, give him limitless range. The card is going to green shots. I know his release is slow, but he's still going to be able to green shots. His release is slow, but outside of that, what else do you want out of the card? The card is going to be just fine. Probably the second trophy case that I'm going for outside of Derrick Rose. So when it comes down to it, guys, I think I'm lower on Alonzo Mourning than I should be, and everybody else is where they should be. Alonzo Mourning probably is a top 3 center in the game. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. How do you guys stack up a guy like Alonzo Mourning to a guy like Blake Griffin? Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.